Hey, welcome back to another episode of The Mindset Experiment.
Hi, thanks for coming.
This week we're talking about self talk. So I think we've talked about this in the past. Um, maybe, I don't know what the episode was. Maybe it's something that I've, it's something that I've kind of focused on in the past for myself. Um, so I didn't write down a definition, but just to kind of get you thinking about self talk and how you actually think to yourself. If somebody followed you around, like if you were to think about your thoughts, because apparently we have 50,000 to 70,000 thoughts a day, according to scientists, which I thought that was something interesting because he was right. Like, how do they know that? Anyway,
I'm sure every time you have a thought, your brain fires
like, so then they
some
can have
sort
you
of,
lit up.
yeah, and they have you scanning your brain.
I see. If somebody were to follow you around and you were to tell them all of the thoughts, literally every single thought, or they could just hear all of your thoughts, would they think that what you're saying to yourself is motivating, or would they think that it is tearing you down? So, when was the last time you thought about your thoughts?
What I got was it's like a coach in your head, right? You got a good coach who's gonna build you up, win you games. You got a bad coach, well, they're gonna tear you down, and you ain't going nowhere.
Hmm.
You ain't gonna win nothing.
So, self talk, yeah, it's definitely the coach in your head. Whether you have a good coach or a bad coach is, well, up to you. Because the things that you tell yourself, you start to believe, and then the things that you believe, you start to act on. And so, if you're talking negatively about yourself, then you're probably more than likely not treating yourself very well either. So,
Yep, fill yourself up with light, not darkness, right?
hmm.
Um, your brain's always listening. Your brain's always taking in what you say.
Hmm.
So what you say to yourself is what you repeatedly tell
Hmm.
yourself. It's what your brain's gonna
And then I feel like it's the same thing
think.
as the last time is like, well, if you're constantly telling yourself negative thoughts, well, then that's what your brain is going to start to notice about you, and then it's going to pass over all of the positive things that are about you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
It's
It would work the same way, essentially, don't you think?
it's almost like that previous episode we did of gratitude, where what you say attracts. You're being grateful because you want
Mm-hmm.
to change your mood and be positive and
Mm-hmm.
look at the good instead of the bad. Well, it's
Mm-hmm.
the same thing with self talk. Why would you say I have a hard time with that because you tell me all the time to not say certain things. Um, but why are you saying those things at the end of the day? They lead to you know increasing your stress, low, and
Mm-hmm.
making you feel less confident. And makes things harder when you talk like that. So it's almost like a cheat code if you really think of it that way. You're gonna say good things to yourself. So if you say good things to yourself, it's gonna be the opposite of those things, right? It's gonna better your focus, give you less anxiety, make things easier, be more confident.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a cheat code, right? That's like
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you see athletes and stuff do it all the time, where
yes,
like they're talking to themselves before the race starts, or you know what I mean, like they're
mentally picturing it like this last games we were watching in the NBA finals, right? Every time the big tall guy was
Wemby.
yeah about to shoot free
Yes, his free
throws,
throws.
he would take a pause and think. I'm
Yeah.
sure he was visualizing himself throwing it in the basket and
Yeah.
telling himself, "I got this," right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
all the greats do it. If you listen to a lot of the stories, in some way or another, they talk about how well, I tell myself, let's do this, or I got this. I've practiced this a million times. All this is nothing to you.
Mm-hmm.
All that is a self talk,
Mm-hmm.
a good reminder.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds you, you're reminding yourself what you're capable of.
And then it puts you in a good loop instead of a bad loop of self talk once you start doing that. Because, if you're constantly telling yourself, that you can't do it, or you're lazy, or you know what I mean, you don't like this and that about your body or your skin color or whatever it is, like then your brain starts to believe those things. Your brain starts to believe like, oh well, that's true, there's something wrong with me, or whatever you tell yourself, then your brain is going to start to believe it.
An interesting thing I thought about, or I found, was your brain doesn't always distinguish between what you repeatedly imagine and tell yourself, or and what you repeatedly experience
So you can like trick your brain into experiencing something.
based on just words that you repeatedly told yourself.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I heard that too. This is the second time I've read that, or the first time I heard it on the radio or something. They were talking about, they were jokingly talking about it, how people who picture themselves in their mind walking around the block or working out and exercising have lost weight, but just by think, like, that's not going to be massive amounts of weight, but they've lost, and it seems that their health has improved by them just taking a few minutes out of the time to think about,
To visualize.
visualize themselves actually walking and feeling what it. Oh man, you're tired. You're walking. You're huffing and puffy, and I'm pumping my arms. I'm passing the houses. I can feel the rocks in each step.
Shut up.
Yeah, if you visualize that, you can lose weight, and then your health tends to improve. And then they gave other examples, but I thought that was crazy. I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like just thinking about it, but intensely, like
Yeah.
feeling the feels, and like
Yeah.
you can trick your brain into thinking that you went and actually worked out, and somehow that lowered your calories.
That's wild, actually. I did not know that.
So like it's the same concept. If you self talk, maybe try that too, right? Maybe we just stumbled on something whole different that nobody will hear first, guys. But think about it: if you self talk, but self talk and imagine that self talk to that extent that those people were imagining them walking around the neighborhood.
Like think about speaking to yourself, like like visualize you speaking to yourself good things.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm awesome. I'm capable of doing something, and then thinking of like, oh, okay, well, you're sitting there, and then all of a sudden, like, you just feel this like energy in your body, like you're about to take off and blast off like a rocket ship. The pressure's building up, and you're like ready to launch. You think of it like that, and you visualize it to that same extent of what the people I was talking about that walk around the neighborhood or whatever in their mind,
Uh-huh.
how that would affect you, your your progression of this, of being the shit, of being, I don't know, I guess you would have to focus on one main thing, like self, like,
Interesting.
what's a good one? I don't know, because like good self talks, like, I've prepared for this one step at a time. You got this. You've done this before. I'm capable of doing this.
Hmm. Well, I mean, honestly, I feel like it's just taking your thought and turning
Mm.
it around. You know what I mean? Like replace your negative talk, like um, like I'm not good enough. Like oh, like because I feel like that often. Like oh, I'm not good enough to be at this job, or I'm not good enough, and I don't give myself enough credit here. And it's like oh well, I'm just not there yet, right? I'm working towards something better. Like just changing that. Like how can you think about that same thing but in a different perspective and think about it like I'm just not there yet. You know what I mean? But I'm or like instead of being like I'm lazy, be like, well, I'm working towards losing weight, right? Like it's not I'm lazy. It's not you know what I mean? Because then you're making that like who you are. It's like, oh well,
Yeah.
what are you trying to accomplish? And that's what you're doing. You know what I mean? Then that's a positive way to think about yourself and to live.
Yeah.
So what lies have you told yourself for years?
That's a personal subject, man. No.
We get personal here, sir. Mine's definitely been like what I just said. Like that I'm not enough, that I'm not good enough, that I'm not pretty enough, that I'm not smart enough, that I don't have enough money. You know what I mean? Those are all things that I have told myself for years and years and years that have gotten me nowhere. So I feel like now recently, like there's been lots of things that have changed, but also like my self talk has definitely changed. So like, um, I feel like when I do have negative self talk, it's easier for me to recognize that it's there, like that I'm thinking those things and kind of like dismiss it and kind of flip it around. So like, if I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, ugh, like I don't like, I can like literally grab my belly and like, oh, I don't like this part of my belly. And then it's like, well, like it doesn't matter because God tells us that that doesn't matter. So like I'm a child of God, so I'm pretty. I'm essentially like it doesn't matter what my brain is telling me. You know what I mean? Like I can still tell myself that like I feel pretty because I'm a child of God and he sees me pretty and you know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. That is like that's not something that I should waste my time on and my thought process on. So I can dismiss that thought and move on to the next one. You got one or no?
The things I tell myself.
Hmm. Like
Mm,
what lies have you told yourself for years? That you're the problem?
Not the problem. Although I do still feel that, so that's a lie.
Yeah, but I
Uh,
mean, like, that's the truth, though. You know what I mean? I don't think that you are the problem, but you see yourself as the problem. That's something that you tell yourself all the time so that you see it that way. You know what I mean? Like, especially here recently, like, where when like, you're talking to me about those things, well, it's like, well, you're choosing to see it that way, too. You know what I mean? But it's not that way. Like, you're choosing to see yourself as the problem, but yourself is not the problem. The problem is the problem.
the problem is the problem.
Right. And everybody has their problems.
This is true.
So that's just self talk that you're trying to fix. Just like we're all trying to fix our self talk. My self talk isn't the greatest. I've been really working at it. That's why I write my shit in the morning time. That's why I pray. That's
I feel
why.
like mine is good. I just, other than that, yeah, I don't even see what else I say. Being worried of being judged, I guess, in the sense of like us doing this, right? Like, oh, what are people gonna say? Like, at the end, but then at the end of the day, I think too, like, who gives a fuck too? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know if,
You're like in this middle area where like you say you don't give a fuck, but like really deep down, there's fucks to give about it.
or I care about it, but deep down, I really don't care about it because, like, obviously, we're doing it. Like, if I really cared about it that deep, I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like a weird gray area where yeah, I kind of use negative and positive self talk.
Yeah.
So it's like canceling each other out. Well, you're not going down, you're not going up. You're just
Yeah, stagnant. So,
yeah, because what you tell yourself, right? Those words you repeat become habits, and then those habits shape your mindset and your actions. Just remember, your mind's always listening. If you're going to hear one voice, right, all day, you're talking to yourself all day.
yeah, I mean, you're the one
Make sure
that's.
it's the one that is encouraging you instead of tearing you down.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I don't know, a lot of you probably don't have kids, and a lot of you do have kids. But would you tell a little kid bad stuff?
Yeah, the same things that you're repeating in your head. Would you
Yeah.
tell that to your child?
Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you're the problem. You know,
Look at your belly.
look at your belly.
Look at your acne. Look at your crooked teeth.
You don't say those to children.
Absolutely not.
So
That's
teach
rude.
yourself like a child.
Yep. Yeah. The person you talk to most is yourself, so choose your words carefully. Join us next time on the Mindset Experiment.